Have you ever met or had any sort of relationships with Puffy?
Of course. Of course. I mean, I don't have a relationship, but, I've seen him at many, many events, many, many parties. I was at his first big party.
Oh, yeah?
In New York at Cipriani, the first sort of Puffy party.
Okay.
When it was like, oh, wow. And it was downtown. And well, for a hip hop dude, it was like, holy shit. Trump was there. Derek Jeter was there with Mariah Carey.
Oh.
It was, I don't know how many people, but it felt like 2,000 people. This is, a public, huge party. I was at that party, and I've seen him many, many times over the years. Many, many times over the years. I've been to many events, but before you even ask, I've always been a 1 a.m. It's late. It's late.
Past your bedtime.
Past my bedtime. So my interactions with him were
Yeah.
Puffy, New York, da 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 da.
Hi, bye.
Hi, bye, yo, what's up? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. This is a good story.
Have you guys done any projects together at all?
Never did any projects with him.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'll tell you one thing that was this is a good story. My first wife, I was at a dinner. It was like 30 people, and Puffy was there. And he says to my wife, she was asking him about Biggie. She was a big Biggie fan. And she said, Mrs. Rapaport, your husband was Biggie's favorite actor, right?
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then she was like, Mike. And she goes, say what you just said. And he goes, you were Big's favorite actor, right? And I was like, oh, shit. And then I thought, he probably tells that to all the fucking actors in Hollywood, because he said it. But nah, it was a dope thing. It was a dope thing because I remember they were at the Higher Learning premiere. And I always remember, this is...
Biggie was there?
Yeah. 95?
Right. What movies did you do when Biggie was still alive? I mean, there was Zebrahead.
What year did he pass?
97.
So I remember at the Higher Learning premiere, I remember right before the lights went down, Puff said, "Bad boy for life, motherfucker." I always remember that. It had nothing to do with the movie or whatever, but they were on that rah-rah shit. But they were sitting few rows up, but they were like, "Bad boys for life, motherfucker." And that was a big night for me because the premiere was in New York, and it was just, I remember he was there. I never met Big. The only time I ever saw Big was, I believe it was on 57th Street. There was a club. I saw him getting out of a SUV with Luke from 2 Live Crew.
Okay.
And I remember being like, how the fuck do these two people know each other?
They have a song together.
But at the time, you're like, when you see people out of context, you're like, I remember but I never met Biggie. But that premiere was a big deal because, it was such an exciting time in the movie and Ice Cube and Busta Rhymes. And I remember Kevin Garnett was going into his first year, and it was all this hype on this kid coming out of high school, and he was hanging around puffing them, and he was a kid. He was a fucking kid, and that premiere was a dope premiere. But I remember right before the lights went down, or as soon as before the movie started, right before the movie, "Bad boy for life, motherfucker." And I was like, oh shit. But he told my ex-wife that, Mrs. Rappaport, your husband was Big's favorite actor. And I was like, that's pretty sick, right? Whether it's true or not, but I remember he said, I was like, that was pretty dope.